Your unique story, our global audience. Global One Media.
Thanks for tuning in to our Stocks to Watch series, where we bring you exciting, informative, and innovative stories from company executives globally. I'm Ashley Berry, and we're welcoming Harry Chu, President and CEO at Arctic Fox Lithium. The junior mineral exploration company is engaged in the acquisition, exploration, and development of quality mineral properties in Canada. They have a sharp focus on the exploration and development of hard rock lithium deposits. Arctic Fox Lithium is trading on the Canadian Securities Exchange as AFX and on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange as 7N4. Harry, thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ashley. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, really excited about your mission and the conversation we're about to have. Perhaps we could start with you providing us with an overview of the lithium project that you recently announced. You've staked an additional 17 claims covering more than 2,000 acres to the south at Kana Lake in the James Bay region of Quebec. Perhaps you can share more on this potential and why you decided to invest in this particularly.
Thank you for the question. First and foremost, we went into Quebec looking for hard rock lithium, and Quebec being the most mining-friendly province in all of Canada, not the mining-friendly jurisdiction in the world, we felt that there was an opportunity for us to kind of identify what we call pegmatites on the ground and isolate them to find specific properties that we were wanted to get involved in. We had a number of opportunities presented to us. We ended up acquiring three what we consider very prolific properties, the Kana Lake, Delta, and Pontex. And in the course of acquiring the Kana Lake, we did some reconnaissance work using previous data, as well as using Google Earth to see if we could see if there is any additional claims that we can go after. And hence the reason why we went to stake the additional 17 claims, or roughly 2,000 acres on Kana Lake. They were essentially an extension to our current stream of pegmatites that we have on that property. So it gives us a really good, land package in that particular area.
Fantastic. So we talked a little bit about the newly acquired claims, maybe the specific areas they cover. And I guess really what I think our listeners are most interested in is what advantages do you anticipate gaining from staking them?
First and foremost, we stake them based on information was made available to us. We can identify using Google Earth the pegmatites already on surface, so we could see them. We use previous government data that was assembled, and through that, we were able to identify what we consider a fairly large northeast to southwest trend, and we extended that down south of our property. So we now have totaling between the three properties, well over 21,000 acres. So that's a very large land package that we have. And on all of our lands, we have what we consider large outcrops, which have a good indication of pegmatites. Hopefully, we'll have spodumene pegmatites, which is the signature for lithium.
Fantastic. It does sound like quite a significant space there. What are the upcoming steps for the Kana Lake Lithium project subsequent to securing those new claims that you're speaking of?
Well, first and foremost, there's currently a fire ban in the area, and so we're cognizant of that, and we're respecting that. And until that gets lifted, we really can't do a lot of anything. Our first plan, once we're able to get on the ground or near the ground, is to fly helicopter drones and do LiDAR survey as well as a mag survey. This will help our team when they're on the ground to identify where the structural faults are, and the team that's going to be on the ground can then isolate their time in areas that we've identified using the LiDAR system. We plan on doing an extensive rock soil sampling, mapping, and assaying this coming, hopefully, month, within the next 2 or 3 weeks once the fire ban is lifted, with the idea that we would have strong targets to drill this coming winter. So our plan is very focused in terms of what we want to do. We have already identified the areas that we want to tackle. Now we're going to do the LiDAR helicopter drone, and then once we get that done, that'll help us with the team on the ground.
So in reference to the associated risks of this asset, maybe you can share some of the strategies you're implementing to maximize its potential and, of course, mitigate any of those risks?
There's obviously risk in everything you do. I mean, mining is risky in itself. I mean, to find a mine is very, very difficult, very hard. For us, part of the precursor to reducing the risk is first and foremost to identify properties that have pegmatites. Okay, pegmatites is mentioned the signature or spodumene pegmatite for lithium. We had a well over 20 projects that were presented to us, and we narrowed it down to 3. The 3 projects we acquired all had that. In addition to that, we want to make sure whichever properties we acquired, there was easy access to the property as well as power and infrastructure in place. 2 of our properties are only 500 meters away from the main road. So for us, it's significant in terms of cost savings for working the property and drilling the property. So those are kind of the main things that we kind of did to de-risk the property, to make it more economical so that we can spend better dollars on the ground.
Fantastic. So, lithium, so hot right now. Let's talk about really what excites you the most. And then, how do you encourage others to get excited about your company and start investing?
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously lithium is relatively new. I mean, EV batteries and EV cars, when you talk about EV cars, let's even say 5 years ago, the only car that people would think about would be Tesla. Now, every automotive manufacturer will have not one, but a fleet of EV cars. And I think it's going to be a situation where, unfortunately, gas powered cars are going to be a thing of the past in several years down the road. And EV cars will be what we consider the main focus, not just for cars, but in everyday life. With the situation down in South America where Chile and Argentina are making it very difficult for lithium to be exported, as well as China. There's a huge demand outside of those areas. And I believe Quebec will be, if not just Quebec, but James Bay area will be the main focus worldwide for lithium. They've already developed a number of big projects there. A lot of major companies already got their fingerprints in there. You got Ford Motor Company jumping in there. You got Rio Tinto. You got Damascus, you got Patriot Metals, which just announced they were the single largest lithium deposit in North America. Yep. So these are all fantastic news for the area. And Quebec government is very receptive to developing the province as a fully integrated lithium province, where they produce the lithium and they produce the batteries, and hopefully the automotive manufacturer will be there too. I mean, I know Volkswagen is just off the border in Ontario as well. And so I think this is just a start. And I believe we're in the right space at the right time.
Right space at the right. That's exactly what I was going to say. You stole the words right out of my mouth. I'm also really happy and encouraged to hear that you have such great support from the government there. I have to ask, Harry, how did Arctic Fox get its name?
Good question. It was Arctic Fox. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we were deciding. I mean, we wanted something that was kind of unique and indicative of the area, and it's cold in that area. So we came up with the name Arctic Fox. There was no really magical reason why we picked that name, other than the fact that it was something that was. I would say that the fox is quite a cute little character, and it was. I guess for the area, it was quite indicative for us to kind of look at that as our icon.
Well, it's a great name, very catchy. Harry Chu, President and CEO at Arctic Fox Lithium, thank you so much for your time and for sharing your important story here with us on Stocks to Watch with Global One Media. We look forward to sharing additional updates with our audience.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the time.